The Big Voice. KWTN 100.9 FM. Nebraska. The official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.
Do numbers like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man.
Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us here today at Winnebago Talks. Today is Tuesday, November 5th, a very historical day in the nation here, and we appreciate everybody that's going to be coming in, talking to us a little bit about things, and nonetheless, Garan Coons, Communications Officer, also known as DJ Guaranteed, and we are joined in the studio with...
Hello, everybody. So it's Hump Hinu Baha J. It's Tuesday.
Yes.
I am Bethany Redhorn, the Communications Office Manager, and for the Big Voice Radio, I am DJ Bethany.
We'll have Winnebago in the News join us here. We have a whole heap and
Plethora
of information to distribute here today. Now, just kind of keeping our kind of ear to the streets and stuff, you know, a lot of people are kind of wondering, where are the polls this year? Because understandably so, in the past, they've been at the fire hall, they've been at the senior center, and this year, DJ Bethany, where are the polls for Winnebago?
They will be located at the Blackhawk Community Center gym.
And you casted your vote there probably about a month ago for the tribal council elections and stuff. So very familiar place, but head on down there. Also, this year, we want to make sure we get out this information. You have to bring a certain item. What is that item?
An ID, your identification card.
Yeah. So it's a new thing that they have this year, and one of the things is yesterday they offered tribal IDs for Winnebago community members. If I know sometimes going to the DMV, it's a little troubling and stuff. You know, sometimes you have to bring what do they call it, the last month's bill and something
some
with your
kind of
physical
utility.
Yeah, but they do accept tribal IDs. So folks, if you have an opportunity, make sure that you grab your tribal ID or grab a ID, head to the polls. And I know that we have none other than the WI.N editor, Mr. Brian Chamberlain here, and he goes by MCBKC, and we'll talk about the Winnebago in the News here momentarily and stuff, but that information, if you guys could help us on out. Everybody's asking us, where are the polls and stuff, and I cruise by the polls. They don't have a sign or anything, so maybe
nothing to identify that that's the area.
If we could and stuff, just kind of keep this in mind, everybody, is that you know, it's very important that we get out the native vote. So that's going to be a real occurring theme.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that already voted with early ballot voting and stuff like that. So we appreciate those people. I talked to a couple of people yesterday, and they already voted, and it's very understandable. So remember that today is the 5th of November, so make sure you get that out. So also like to welcome in Tyler Snake with the Winnebago in the News Office Manager. Really busy yesterday, and we'll discuss the Get Out the Native Vote walk that we had for those that weren't able to attend. There was some words that were said, very, if you have an opportunity. I think we had a couple audio issues and stuff, you know, some of the speeches didn't kind of relay as well, so we'll try to, you know, recap what was said yesterday and kind of go from there. So yes, today is the day, folks. Make sure you kind of keep an eye on and keep a tune in here, because we'll tell you about the Winnebago community and some of the initiatives that are taking place. We'll have Cynthia Lemire come on up, and she'll talk about a few things, and then we'll also have Angel Decora here, and they are going to be talking about some of the history, and especially the history of us as Native Nations voting in this nation. So, with that, Winnebago on the News. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. And yeah, what do you have for us?
Well, good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Brian Chamberlain, editor for the Winnebago Indian News. I go by, like you said, MCBKC here at KWTN 100.9 FM, the Big Voice Radio. And of course, we are getting ready to put out a new issue of the Winnebago Indian News that will be in your mailboxes on Saturday. The print deadline is today, and so we pretty much have a jam-packed issue that we're really chomping at the bit to get out, because this issue is going to be dedicated to the veterans of the Winnebago people. And so from the masthead, you're going to see a veteran on the masthead. You're going to have a storyteller section, which is going to return to the Winnebago Indian News, and that will be an exclusive in the print version, as well as all of the other information and everything else that we need to put out. So of course, like you're talking about, today is election day. So today is the day that you go down to the polls to vote in person. I voted myself already, and so yeah, it is inside the Whirling Thunder Wellness Blackhawk Community Center Gymnasium. There is not any type of signage out on the highway, but there is on the building. So you simply have to enter from the north entrance, kind of where everybody goes in, and then you go in there and then you can vote. But also do not forget, bring your photo ID, because the workers do ask and request that photo ID. So the state issued ID, the driver's license, the photo ID from a public college like Wayne State College, and of course a tribal ID with a photo, they are all valid.
I have a question for you guys. There's some people out there, it's a little gloomy here today, just kind of, it's rainy and stuff, but they're asking about rides to the polls, or if there's transportation or anything like that. Can you give them that information? Because we at the Winnebago Tribe and the Tribal Transit, they do have polls, rides and transportation to that here.
Yes.
And we appreciate the Tribal Transit program. But do we have that map and kind of that information? We posted it on the Tribe's Facebook page.
Yep. So I pulled up the Tribe's website. They have a whole list of the stops. And during the national elections, which is today, Tuesday, November 5th, the Tribal Transit will be offering rides to the polls for free. Pickup times are 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. The bus will be waiting approximately 2 minutes. The bus route is a 30 to 45 minute drive for pickup, so please be patient when they are en route. The stops are through Thunderway, Big Winnebago Lane, the end of Big Winnebago Lane, Thunderway and White Stocking Lane, BIA 17, 12-plex Entrance Drive, Highway 75 and Valley Drive, Highway 75 and Sheridan Drive, Highway 75 and Sunrise Drive, the Senior Complex by Peach Ave, D Ave and BIA 3, 11 to 15 is within Winnebago Village limits, and they said to please stand on the curb for pickup. Senior Towns Homes 1.0 and Senior Townhomes 2.0, and the Statue Garden. So any questions, you can don't hesitate to call or reach out to Dave Menser at 712-259-1995. Vincent Parker will be running from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Henry Lovejoy from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for this in-town route during election day. So Vincent Parker's phone number is 402-404-9633, and Henry Lovejoy's phone number is 712-204-2879. And if he does not answer, his messenger and text message to his cell phone is preferable.
All right. So, and then if you guys didn't catch those numbers, you can go to the WinnebagoTribe.com.
Yeah.
It's right there on the homepage. There's a banner. Just click on that, and then you can get that information. So, very good.
All over social media as well. Winnebago Tribes Facebook, the Winnebago Indian News Facebook, Big Voice Radio Facebook. It's everywhere. So.
With that map as well.
All right, Tyler. Yesterday you were busy and stuff, and kind of recap what took place yesterday out there at the Veterans Memorial Park, also known as the Power Grounds.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Well, the Winnebago tribe wanted to do a Get Out the Vote event, and so what came down was a walk event, and because a lot of people like to participate in that, so I know that the communication staff, Garan, Tyler, everyone else, I don't want to forget anyone, was very much, and Christina, of course, was very much involved in getting T-shirts for the walk participants, and so this all came together relatively quickly, because this wasn't planned back in July or anything like that. This was thrown together, and it came together in a really good way. So yesterday, Get Out the Vote walk happened out at the Powell Grounds, like you said. The tribal membership showed up. There was, quite a few people, well over 100 participants.
Like 1:30.
Yep, and then also a meal was served, and so they basically took a jaunt around the Powell Grounds, got a T-shirt, got something to eat, listened to some of the political motivation speeches that were given, as well as how we honor our veterans and etc., because they are the ones that fought for our right to vote and still do today. And so that's what yesterday was all about. So we also had a video, because I did a live from the Winnebago Indian News Facebook, that we were calling everybody to come out, and then they did. And then there was also a nice little dog.
Mm-hmm. Cute little puppy.
That was what I wanted to say. We were
Oh,
trying
good.
to find a home for
Yeah.
that puppy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that dog last night.
Someone's puppy was out there, and it got full, so we shared. It got to have.
Belly was real wide.
I know. It's like you can tell it hadn't eaten in a while, but it also gave it some water too, and it was really loving it up. So
All good things.
Yes. Thank you, Tyler, for really helping out with that. And then, Bethany, she got the live stream up, and it just
Shout out to Kev.
Kev, and everybody that really had a hand in that stuff.
Our HCI apprentices as well.
Mm-hmm.
They really showed up and helped out.
Yeah, Caden and the two apprentices, they seemed like they really enjoyed it and stuff. And then you guys were busy at the T-shirt table. Hey, we should show the T-shirts for those folks that don't.
Should I grab one?
Yeah, if you could grab one and stuff. Just come together
we
real
have,
quick.
Yeah, we have plenty of them as well. And so if you didn't get one, we're going to be throwing them out at the next parades and those kind of things and stuff as well. They don't have a date on them, so they're always good. Get Out the Native Vote is what it was about. And then also the food preparation that took place, that was done by Sweet Thing. Okay,
Sweet
so
Thing.
yeah, so everybody that had a hand in that, good job, guys, because everybody liked it.
I know that. What was it?
The subs, there's mac and peas salad, and like a Jello.
Yeah, that was the bomb.
Mixture.
Man.
It was
Yeah, they
good.
had chips and then several things to drink and stuff like that. So
Which
yeah.
camera?
It was a full-on one.
that one.
That's your camera. You're close up.
There you go. So it says, with the emphasis, get out the native vote, guys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we've just been through a lot. We want to make sure that this year they kind of, the vote is your voice, you
Yes.
know, and your voice.
Yes.
They say it's I was kind of reading some podcasts, or not reading, listening to some podcasts and stuff, but they say it's like self-care if you vote. And
Sure.
I could kind of feel that, you know what I mean? Because I went and voted this morning too.
Yeah.
And when I came out and stuff, I got the little sticker, and I was like, man, it's right there. You know what I mean? So for sure, it's very, very nice.
Yeah, it's something always good to look forward to. Election day is, something, the president's every 4 years, so that is kind of the main part of the ticket. But both senators are on the ballot, as well as several ballot initiatives on the backside. So when you do go vote, understand you're going to be there for a little bit. I mean, you're not going to be there like an hour. Nothing ridiculous like that, but it's not as easy as tribal council elections. There are several candidates to consider. Again, several ballot measures to be weighed out. Vote the way that you feel that you should, or vote your values and that kind of thing. But at the same time, the whole point: get down there and vote, because today's the day if you haven't done it already.
So there's one on, I believe, abortion. There's I think
Two of
couple-
them,
there's
yes.
two of them.
434 and 439 are on the ballot. Yes,
There's also a marijuana.
two of those as well.
And
Yep.
then there's one about the public school. Or
Yes,
kind of,
our tax dollars going to be used for private schools.
Right.
That's on the ballot as well. And then there's a few, shall judges be retained? There's local elections. There were no written candidates for Winnebago Village Board. I was a little surprised by that. So, but the county board is on there, as well as a lot of the other organizations like the NRD and some other stuff like that. I'm trying to remember them, but there's a lot of stuff to decide. So let your voice be heard, and that's the point.
All right, good job. Winnebago in the news. We'll be back for
the other thing that we want to put out there, and I know you guys are going to talk about it, but we just got to say it as many times as possible. It will run on a headline for a third time, the general welfare exclusion payment that was approved by the tribe back on October 7th. The deadline for the application is November 15th. All adults must fill out the application. There is no automatic payment. There will not be a check waiting for you at the gym. So if you want to claim this money, if you want to claim these funds, you must do an application. There is a rumor out there that is wrong. It is false. That, I can just go show up. That is not correct. If you want this money, you must do an application. And we can't say it any clearer than that. Application equals money. No application means SOL.
Yes, November 15th is the deadline date, and we're getting upon that date. We are in November. This is our first show in November, as last week. We'll recap some of the Halloween events that took place last week, too, and stuff. But, yeah, very good point. Thank you for reminding us. And 2,600 so far.
Oh, good. And so we're a little over halfway, guys. So that means there are still over 1,000 adult tribal members that have not yet done this application. You have less than 2 weeks to get this done, and please do not wait until the last day. Do not jam the server. Do not, I didn't know. It's like we've been putting this out since it was approved on October 7th. We're coming up on a month now. So you've had a month's worth of time to get this done. And I got to say it that way because some people are like, well, I'll just wait. No, if you don't do this application, you're going to be out. I can't say it in any other way.
How'd they sound? No.
Yeah, I mean, I always put it that way because it's like people respond to that, try to be, can you please come do the application now? And it's like, get down here, it's like,
it's good sound effects, man.
Yeah,
that's what
whatever.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, and so also, like I said earlier, the Winnebago Indian News issue that will be coming out this week is dedicated to our veterans, and we hold them in the highest esteem. There's no one higher in the tribe, in my personal opinion, the veterans who lay their life on the line.
Yeah.
And so we'll have a lot of good content in all of the pages. The storyteller section, again, an exclusive interview we will have in the print version of Winnebago Indian News. A veteran on the masthead, all this other kind of good stuff. And then the other thing we wanted to throw out there is the Winnebago High School football team is going to the championship match, I believe, on Friday. I don't have any more details than that. I'm not the guy for that, but I know you guys can help bring that up, but we wanted to mention it as well.
Thank you. Winnebago on the news, man. Thank you guys for everything. You know what I mean? Like there's this, you guys come together as a team yesterday, seeing you guys operate to get out the native vote, this general welfare exclusion payment. Very important that we got the information out. So I just commend you guys for keeping up the good work and, doing everything. Now, I had a call yesterday. Somebody said, how do I get on the list to get a mailing and stuff? How do they do that?
You can email me at tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com. You can message our Facebook page. Just reach out, give us your address. Let us know if you have an old address that needs to be updated or you just want to be added.
Yeah.
Right now it is free $99, so let us know.
Yeah, for sure. And we want to say thank you to all the advertisers that put in something into the Winnebago on the news. That's supporting, you know what I mean, our nation, our tribe and stuff, you know what I mean? So if you have an opportunity, or if you know a business or anything like that wants to get into an old-fashioned kind of newspaper, that's what we offer. But there's also an online version at the WinnebagoTribe.com. So,
and we're looking at exploring versions of that so they can actually be shared digitally. And it's always, like I said, on the WinnebagoTribe.com, on the main masthead, there's a news tab that you can go to and see every issue, and there are also archived issues there as well. And to that point, there's a lot of good stuff. And so we have two other announcements we're going to put out here now, and of course we're going to blow them up fully, but in the month of December, the Neola Old Lady Walker holiday lighting contest is going to be held. We're in the process of formulating how that's going to be brought forward and the way that you enter, the date that we're going to do the judging and all that, and who's going to do it as well, and it won't be me. But at the same time, we're getting all that put together, but we want to put the word out. If you're going to get into the Neola Old Lady Walker lighting contest, look for that in December. And then, of course, the other thing that we're going to be putting together as well, the Winnebago Indian News and the Communications Department is partnering with the Winnebago Gaming Development Corporation, that is Iron Horse and Native Stars Casinos. We're going to be doing a hat and glove event for the Winnebago children.
Awesome. I will always remember that, man. That was when I was in high school, or not even high school, but I was grade school.
Yes.
Because this is going to be for
Educare through 6th grade.
6th grade, yes. But you go down there to the fire hall, you've got your brown sack.
Yep.
And it was full of goodies and stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have the same thing. We don't have the logistics worked out yet. We're going to meet with everybody and see what we feel is going to work best. So we may not be at the fire hall this year. We may be at a different location. We'll just figure out what works best. Hopefully the weather cooperates. And then on that day, all the kids, educare through 6th grade, they get hat and gloves and some goodies.
Yeah. Might need
Details
it for sledding.
coming.
You know
Yes,
what I mean?
details come.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you guys for Winnebago in the news.
And then I
stuff.
have the answer B when you're ready.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. Who won last time? This is The Answer Is. It's a game show, and we invite everybody to play along when that time comes. But you, Best of Me won? So you get a
I think
lifeline.
it was, yes.
All right.
The
So stay
answer
tuned because you probably have to hype out Tyler here today.
This being, no, they're not that hard. So, yeah, but we'll see.
Yes, the lighting contest is always good. You know what I mean? That's something that I always remember from like Jerome
Yes.
LaPointe, and he made mention that Neola Walker, you know, his mentor, and then kind of this keeping the tradition alive. You know what I mean? Like we appreciate everybody, especially in the housing, that go around and they decorate it for the kids because that's something that the young ones really, really enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's just a tradition. I want to shout out to the Winnebago Tribal Council because they actually supported, and I think they said that they were going to also support that continuation. It's kind of
Yes.
tradition.
Yeah.
And it makes our Winnebago community really unique. You know, there's a lot of people out there like, wow, you guys still do that and everything.
Yes.
And have good stories and grew up looking at some wonderful, wonderful houses.
I
and
know.
Stuff, so,
I was just
yeah.
thinking about driving through town and like it's not just in town, you know, you can go out in the country areas and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody be, you know, getting involved and
For
getting
sure.
into the holiday spirit.
Well, we'd like to welcome up our next guest before we transition to talk about, we really appreciate this lady for really helping us out. Yesterday, she was present. She's been meeting. We had a couple of trainings with her and, you know, getting out the native vote. And that's Cynthia Lemire. We'll get her mic'd up and kind of open up her mic. And as she puts the headphones on, we'd like to welcome her and have her opportunity just to say hello to everybody. So, Cynthia, your official title?
My official title politically, you mean?
Sure.
I am a Nebraska Democratic Party State Central Committee member from Dakota County, and actually Legislative District 17, which is Thurston and Dakota County. And I'm also currently just the Native American Caucus Chair that the state party appointed because we had some staffing. People leave, relocated and such, so we'll be getting that fired up here this month too for the December meetings. They meet quarterly within the state, so we'll be getting that fired up also. And then with that, I recently just came on in May as an elder ambassador with the tribe, so just kind of helping out, I guess, with my institutional knowledge, history, those
And
kind of
you
things.
retired from HCI
yes,
too.
I did, yeah.
For
So it was 40 years total with the tribe, from tribal government, program administration to executive management at the casino, and then over to Ho-Chunk, Inc., where I retired.
Very nice. Very nice. So, tell us about today. I mean, like, how's it looking? And kind of give us the whole gamut. What do you got?
Today is definitely going to be interesting. I wore my Kentucky Derby scar today. It is going to be a very, very
Race to the finish
close
line?
racehorse. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And so it'll, there's all kinds of predictions all over the place.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see how it, comes out. And they're comparing it to, again, like you said, the 2016. When Trump last won, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but Trump won the electoral college, vote. So there's all kinds of dynamics on how things, can go. So it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Yeah.
The downside is the weather, but again, it's great that the tribe is having the transit, but we also say, as Native people, help out, all your relations and, check on those 5 to 10 family members or whatever, get yourself down to vote, and then, or check on family and let's all go down, at the same time. But it's important to get out there and be heard. Use your voice and, vote. So
you were saying some interesting statistics yesterday that there's a lot of people this year are going in for early voting. But we as natives kind of,
In
we
Thurston
like to,
County, yeah, we like to go the day of.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit more early voting push, but even during COVID, it wasn't that high. People pretty much still waited till the day, of. And so historically, we've come in at the highest, which is like your 58 and 59% turnout. Those were all during your Obama, era. And that's your total, voter turnout for the Democratic side.
yeah.
Thurston County historically is a larger Democratic voter,
Yeah.
Registration than Republican or other, classifications, nonpartisan, that sort of thing. And so Thurston County's always had a lot of different dynamics when you compare it to the rest of the state on what they're looking at and how things are determined, which district, who has congressional representatives, state legislator, all those kind of things is determined by your, population.
In Thurston County, we have more Native Americans than,
Oh yeah, Thurston County, we are currently at 58% of our total population is
Okay.
Native American. And then another 6.5 to 7% is non-Caucasian.
Right.
Other minority,
Yeah.
groups. So, that puts us way up there for, our minority representation in
Yeah.
Thurston County. And then also we're at 64%, which is your voting age. You're 18 to, voting age. So 64%, and then of that, so 6,000 and some, 60, I want to say 6,600 was the last population estimated after the last census. So right now in 2024, it's estimated, I want to say 6,600, right around in there. And so of that, you've got a good 4,000 and some that are registered voters, 4,448. That's not counting whatever the Secretary of State showed for the latest registered voter list. But, and of that, our Democrats are, the higher population vote there, currently at 53% registered Democratic voters.
maybe this is the first time a big voicer, the Winnebago Talks, and they got to miss your other appearances and stuff, but why is it important for natives to vote?
As Native nations, our relationship is government to government for your treaty, tribes, and those elected officials determine the agenda within the political environment and how your departments are going to operate throughout the country. And everything that happens, whether, like I said, how they determine how many congressional representatives you have, even the electoral vote, what your population is that makes up the different districts, of the electoral college. All of that is based on your population, and they know how people vote. They don't know how you voted, but they know whether you vote or not. So that is your voice to say, I want to be heard. I did, vote. And historically for Indian country, it's our veterans. So I was on a call, I think it was just last Friday, with the National Democratic Party, their Indian caucus, and the former President Nez, who's running for a congressional seat,
Yeah.
in Arizona, and that's a pretty tight-fought race down there, as well, in a real conservative, state.
For the Navajo Nation.
For the Navajo Nation. And so he's running as a congressional seat to the United States government. And he put it just quite simply, which is a call out to all Indian country, which was warrior up.
Warrior
we need
up.
to be, heard. We need to be, otherwise you just become, you're not important. So use that voice. And with our veterans, they are our warriors, and especially our combat or wounded,
Yes.
veterans of historically different roles or things that happen within a tribal nation. That's all, kind of determined how they represent us within our own, nations. And I guess for my late husband and I, like I've said before, we both come from Gold Star, families.
Yeah.
And you see what that does to a family, and it carries on generations, to generations. And so when you come from a family that, of someone of this ultimate sacrifice, you recognize and greatly appreciate, all veterans and all people. And so it's important to remember that. And like we say with the weather, our veterans in any situation they were in, whether it was muddy or rainy or cold or whatever it was, they still had to do what they had, to do.
Yeah.
And so a shout out to our veterans and our women's auxiliary who recognize all of that too and help, support things over the generations. And use your power. That vote is your power. And like someone said after they voted, it is. And it's a powerful thing, and that voice is a powerful, thing, and we can't let it go, unchecked. So stand up and be counted.
We thank you for coming up here, using this platform, this radio station, as something that the Winnebago tribe and the council and the leaders thought that this is important to use it as a vehicle to get people out to vote. There's just a whole lot of information, and in my tenure being as communications officer, I seen the Winnebago Tribal Council work with some of the senators, those out there in D.C., and they said, we got a meeting with the Winnebago tribe today, and they perked up. Like, there was a whole bunch of other people, it's like a circuit and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, they had, like, unions, they had all this and that, but when they seen Winnebago tribe, because of the work that our council had done out there, you know what I mean? Like, we got to keep still knocking those doors down and stuff, and they do a great job. So we as people, our voice is our vote, and so yes. The other thing I wanted to make mention is that traditionally there's just a lot of excuses, like it's not gonna matter and whatever and stuff. This race for the president is coming down razor thin, right? I mean, it seems like they just don't know. I've seen like some reports that Iowa might flip to Democrat, and it's just like Pennsylvania seems like it's
kind of exciting. I'm a nerd. My husband and I, we're both geeks, really into this kind of stuff. But not only this race, and that's what's complicated for people to understand, is that there's more hype and everything when it's going to be close, and but the vote counts all the time, no matter what the race is, etc. And it's not just the presidential race, it's your local, who's going to represent you at the state level. Again, the tribe has to deal with all these government, actions. And, I loosely use the term, we're like dual citizens, because we're citizens of our tribal nations, and then we're citizens of the United States government, but then we're also citizens of the state, government. So tribes have things they have to work with the state government and whoever their representatives and stuff are. And as we learned this past tenure, our representative didn't even give us the time, of day. And so all of those things can hinder what can happen at the state level, and then who your representatives are at the federal level. And I've said it before, my late husband, we're staunch Democrats, always have been. But we also recognize for Indian country, there have been some other good, whether they be independent or Republican, that were receptive. They represented the people after the election. There wasn't this extreme divide of, you didn't vote for me, so I don't care about you now.
Right.
It's just like a horse race. You get up and go to the next one and get ready. But even in all of this, what I'd like to see, the Winnebago tribe is a very unique tribe in that they have a radio station, you have a newspaper to keep your, members informed, or even the county if other people, non-natives, are interested in, what's going on. And you have to do the voter education and aware. It's an ongoing thing. Be tribal elections. Are you registered to vote? Are you eligible to vote? Make sure you are. And the same with your other, elections. And it is confusing sometimes for information, etc., but it's out there.
I want you to, if you can think now, for those, because we broadcast mailing to the Winnebago people. There's we have an online station and stuff, but you drive through Winnebago. I want to bring your attention to the hospital. Okay, so we assume the hospital, and that means the Winnebago tribe took it over from the Indian Health Service. But there's two flags, and there's two flag poles there. One is the United States flag, and one is the Winnebago tribe, and they're equal. And yesterday, John Blackhawk shared that that hospital wouldn't be possible if it wasn't from our help from the United States government. I mean, they didn't come out of a meeting until they said yes to that hospital.
Yes.
So be thinking about that. You know, if you utilize that hospital, maybe you have somebody that utilized, and you know, there's two nations, like you said, we're almost like dual citizens. And that's why we should vote into this year. So very, I thought that story was pretty
the
cool.
The representatives at the national level at that time was B. Ryder as a Republican, and then you had Senator Exon, you know, on the Democratic side. You also had Senator Bob Kerrey on the Democratic, because that was a long-term, you know, type thing that happened. And so you had all those representations of, but like I said, it was easier to go, you know, both sides of the aisle, you know, back then. This past decade has really kind of been a more extremism, you know. But that's part of it. People butt heads all the time, then nothing really happens. And so irrespective of the presidential seat, you know, is the House going to be flipped? They think it is, and now it'll have a Democratic, you know, head. The Senate, it might be kind of, you know, another very close, because right now our vice president, as a Democrat, would have the time, you know, vote. So if the Senate flips, then, you know, they'll have a new, so it's all going to be very interesting to watch. Clear down the ticket, all the way down the ticket.
I mean, I think too, I don't know, like, you know, we kind of, I see you as a younger generation and stuff, you know, you think more people are aware and all this and that, or do you think like people, you know, like Cynthia, you know, she has her story, I have my story, DJ Bethany, what are you thinking? Like, how can we get to the people?
I think so. I think it's just kind of like it goes with the outreach and just like relaying things that, you know, aren't really put out there. So like the voter knowledge and things that you should be keeping in your, you know, in the back of your mind, or knowing, you know, the lower ballot and like things like that. And then, you know, the local race as well, and just being aware of all of that, and then having the information that you're able to go, you know, because we have the internet, so anybody can really just type up and look up what they're, you know, trying to find the answer for. So I think that I feel like a lot of the younger generations are a lot more like aware these days, or like they're more they're just more aware, and they have like all the knowledge at their fingertips. We all do. So I feel like they actually are utilizing that, and not and this is just kind of like it's not off topic, but it's just like, you know, with social media and videos and just like attention retaining and stuff like that. A lot of the time videos, like, you know, where we have a shorter, what is it? Like attention span.
Right.
And so like just, you know, the creativity of like putting out this information and just utilizing it, and keeping it in your mind frame, and then having people like Cynthia to kind of advocate for these things, and, you know, just being aware. I think that a lot of the younger generations are more aware these days than when I was younger. You know what I mean?
I think too, so. if you have an opportunity, you know, it's good to share that on social media, because our generation is social media. It's when we developed and everything, but there's people that are sharing their stories about why voting is important, and I really read them. And some go back to like you know, a veteran that was killed in action, and that's why they vote and stuff. And it just kind of gives me a more emphasis to make sure that and have people come out and get out, make sure you vote. So
a lot of people now, you say thank you to a veteran, you know, when you see them. Well, they're fighting for those rights. And in Indian country, first and foremost, they're fighting for their homeland, for their nation. That's what they're representative, and then they're also representing, you know, our national government. And so to me, the ultimate thank you is you're exercising that right, that you still live and exist within a democracy, and so you have a say about what that leadership is in your democracy. And a good word Frank used to always use was, you know, oligarch, which is when you start, what threatens democracy is when you have these certain factions, whether it be religion or a certain group of people that are trying to control what's happening, you know, in the country or in a certain, you know, area. And so those type of thoughts are completely different from what a true democracy is, that, you know, people want things to be this way, you know, instead. So there's just a lot of, granted, there's a lot of, you know, political landscape needs to change, you know, what's working, what's not working, why we have PAC money out there that can put any kind of money limits and any kind of ads out there that they want, that they're not coordinating and can't coordinate with campaigns. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff has to happen, but you have to have good leadership in offices to help, you know, guide. You know, it's not anything a president can change. The Congress has to change it, the Senate, you know, so it has to go through its hoops. And state levels, your state legislatures and governor, you know, everything has to go through, you know, a process. And so you have an opportunity to elect good people to that, then now's the time. And the other part of it is that you talk complacency, you know, and everybody knows you got people, I'm not going to vote. What's going to, you know, change? But myself personally, I could not do that because I still utilized my right. Even though my horse didn't win, I stood up, you know, I made a choice. One way or the other. And like I say, and, you know, even any dynamics, everybody doesn't agree 100, you know, % on everything. So you have to come, you know, to compromises. And that's how you resolve issues and, you know, come to have new ideas and those kinds of things. So I think Harris said something, or, you know, opening the doors to a whole new way of government and leadership. And you know, if you have the numbers and you know and understand what you can do, I think that's important for people to stand up and be counted. So use your voice.
Yes.
Loudly.
Thank you. Again, we appreciate you, and we appreciate everything that you did, and taking time to talk to the people that tune into our radio station. And then those that are tuning in, we really appreciate it too, because it's very important. I know that a lot of the people that tune in, they're supporters of getting out the vote. You know what I mean? So Cynthia, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
you guys.
Cynthia.
Keep up the good work.
Yes.
All right, and then so I was looking at our comments, and we touched on the general welfare exclusion payment.
Oh, yeah.
And then also touched on that route for so two different things.
Okay.
The route for the tribal transit that will be giving rides to the polls.
Yeah.
And we also had the general welfare exclusion payment. So first, I wanted to touch on the route for the elections, which is happening today. So if you need a ride, there is Ride to the Polls. So we made mention of it. Just wanted to really emphasize that, because maybe there's someone out there that needs that ride. They're like, oh, I don't have a ride to the polls. So we have the phone number for Dave Menser. And again, that's this route we have. It's through town, so they'll have different stops. And if you wanted more information on it, they do have a breakdown of each of those stops. You can go to the Winnebago Tribe's website at winnebagotribe.com. Up at the top, there's two banners. So one is for the general welfare exclusion payment. The second banner is for the the routes, so the ride to the polls. And so they're giving a breakdown of each of these. And so I thought that it was displaying my
yeah, we're working with some new software. I like it. Good job on that. You and Kevin kind of been testing it and stuff. So if you guys can see it, or if you guys can, there you go.
Yeah. So the ride to the polls for the election day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yep.
So route stops are the circles, and then the stars are where where the Blackhawk Center is located at. So those circles are all the different stops. So again, you can go to the Winnebago Tribe's website. It'll give you a breakdown of all those stops. So all the way down at end of Winnebago Lane, out to BIA 17, out to D Ave and BIA 3, all the way up to the Senior Complex 2.0.
Okay. Thank you for that announcement. And that's ongoing right now.
Yes.
So, if you guys...
And then, sorry, but I wanted to make mention of that tribal general welfare exclusion, because I was mentioning that I seen in the comments the our retired WIN editor Jerome had mentioned the senior center has offered to help the seniors fill out their applications, and so I wanted to emphasize that every Wednesday until November 13th, they're offering sign-up assistance for tribal senior citizens at the Winnebago Senior Center. So you need to bring your tribal ID or state ID. And for more information, you can get a hold of Serenity Drew at 531-233-0769.
Good. Yeah, thank you for that announcement. There's some elders that don't trust that DocuSign. They don't know how to kind of fill it out and stuff. The crew there will help you.
Yes.
So just come on down to the senior center if you're in listening distance, and if you haven't done your general welfare exclusion payment, or you know what I mean, like you might have to ask for help. So we appreciate that service. Yes. We'd like to welcome in somebody that's new to the organization, because we haven't seen her for a long time. She hasn't been up here. No, I'm just teasing. But this is Sunshine Thomas Bear.
Hello.
And go ahead and introduce your crew.
Oh, okay. So my name is Sunshine, and I am the Angel Decorum Museum Director, the TIPO,
Nice
the
to meet
NAGPRA
you.
rep, and what else am I? The Cultural Preservation Director for the Winnebago Tribe. Nice to meet you, stranger.
Thanks for coming up.
And this is
Jayla.
And I'm Madeline.
Madeline, nice to you came up before. I think we met you through probably some of the videos and everything. But your job title again?
I'm the museum curator and NAGPRA assistant.
Okay, all right. And then Galen, we appreciate you did a video on kind of like why it's important to vote and everything, but we wanted to talk about that yesterday. You shared with us at the walk some interesting facts and some of the things that we need to learn and also know, because knowledge is power.
yes,
So
it is power.
we'll turn it over to you guys.
So I brought some stuff to discuss, and we're mainly talking about Nebraska, since that's where we are right now. Nebraska allowed Native Americans to vote in 1964, and that's kind of what I talked about yesterday. Actually, I told you, and you were supposed to say it.
Yeah, sorry. All these numbers. No.
Yeah. So this came in after a series of legal battles and changes that followed the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924. So, I think we all are aware, but if you're not, even though these lands and this continent has our homeland since time immemorial,
Right.
We weren't recognized by the U.S. government as citizens of this United States of America until 1924.
I'm going to stop you right there. So, Little Priest, Chief Little Priest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That was in 1860, because it's 158th this year.
Yes. Yep.
But
and
he's-
1 year before Nebraska became a state.
And so you got to
Yes.
realize he served in the United States Army as a scout, but he wasn't a citizen.
No, not recognized by the United States government. No, none of us
Crazy.
were. No.
Keep going.
Okay, so even after that act, many states, like Nebraska, initially found ways to restrict Native American voting rights until more comprehensive legislation was implemented in the 1960s. So here in Nebraska, like I said, we weren't able to vote until 1964.
1964. I mean, like that's
like not long ago.
right.
Yeah.
So I wasn't here in 1964 and stuff. You know what I mean? But dang, man, that's just. So we weren't allowed to vote.
No, as U.S. citizens. Although we were U.S. citizens since 1924, supposedly, we weren't allowed to vote here in this state. So I don't know about any other states.
Yeah.
I just focused on Nebraska, but I know it varied by state. So now, we have, just with the issues, I know that there was a court case going on about voter suppression. So I also looked into that. And it's not just here for our reservation or our relatives to the south, the Omaha tribe, but all over throughout the country. We have polling place accessibility, voter ID requirements, which have just been upped. You have to have an ID when you go in now to vote. That hasn't always been the case. Registration challenges, to hinder the participation of our tribal members. limited outreach and resources. You know, we have people that are throughout in our rural community too, that just can't get to the polls and different things. So, and economic and social factors, you know, so that's a lot of the, just all those issues combined, you know, make that super challenging for tribes, any tribe, any reservation, for them to get everyone to go and vote. Like, and I know that, and I missed out, but that you were able to go get a tribal ID yesterday, which is great, you know, because we want as much participation as possible.
Yes.
And I think that Nebraska being a really red state, but we're the blue county, you know, so we could really turn that around, you know, if we really focused on voting and, you know, the importance of voting to our people.
We had over 100 yesterday, and I know the weather wasn't cooperating, and it's a little drive out there and everything too, but just the power and that and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yes.
To gather the people, and they took the flag around the arbor, and the speeches and everything too. It was pretty impactful. We could have 1,000 people if, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been awesome, but I know work day, and I asked a couple people. I even asked the drum and stuff. They had an incident come up and you couldn't make it and stuff. So, but those that were there for a reason. Those were there because they wanted to honor somebody or whatnot and stuff. So it was very impactful and stuff. Gayla, I wanted to mention to you, you did a video and it's posted on our social media and stuff, but kind of recap that because some of the topics that you talked about in that for those that didn't see it.
Oh yeah, just kind of piggybacking off what Sunshine said about the we were citizens, like actual citizens of the United States in 1924, but we didn't have voting rights. That's not until they passed the Voting Rights Act of 1965, I believe. Yeah. That we were all able to vote, like, across the board here in the country.
Man, and that took multiple legal battles and legislation for states to actually allow Native Americans to vote. Per state.
Yep, and it's all by design.
And then here in Thurston County, you know what I mean? Like, we got hit with that too because we won that court case. And before that, they tried to draw some lines to, I think, the relatives to the south and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it was very interesting and stuff, you know, to kind of make it so that those districts had a higher Caucasian population than Native Americans for that representation of the county seat. And the county seat, you know, they're responsible for a lot of the stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you talk about county roads, and a lot of us drive those county roads to get to work and all this and that. So it's very interesting. And the more you know, the better equipped you are to cast a good, educated vote. So make sure you head to the polls. Thank you, Gayla, for doing that. Madeline, I know that you do some research and stuff up there too. You know, so why do you think it's important to get out and vote?
I definitely think that either way you vote, just putting your opinion out there and just exercising your right to vote, because it is, I guess, given to us by the government. So. In certain cases, but
there's a lot of our veterans that fought for us to have the right to go out and vote, which is very important, that we recognize our veterans and say thank you, like Cynthia said, say thank you to our veterans and stuff, because they went through all that, you know what I mean? And some of them, they don't come back the same. And just the kind of the stories that they share and everything too. You know, Kevin got to talk to him a couple of times about his stories over there, and Dusty, you know, who serves on the council, and just there's a lot of respect. Homecoming celebration when they come home and stuff, you know what I mean? It's a good feeling. Not only that for the people that are there present, but our ancestors that danced around that circle and everything too is very important. So.
Yeah, and I think just before we came up here, me and Madeline were talking about, you know, when women, so even as women, we weren't able to vote. So that didn't come, and that was, I think they called it the women's suffrage, but it was the 19th Amendment or something to the U.S. Constitution, and that happened in 1920. So just as women, we weren't allowed to vote until 1920, and probably differs in different states as well, just like for tribal communities. Yeah. And, you know, you're really seeing that throughout the country as well, where you're getting that kind of what happened here, where they were trying to put the polling place in Pender, you know, and that's happening throughout the country. So, you know, you really have to, as much as some people are like, you know, I'm just not political. Yeah. You know, that's great. You know, you don't have to be super political, but you do want to be aware because this is affecting our future generations.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's something that we always want to protect here at the museum. You know, that's kind of our goal, is making a better future. So, you know, our veterans, Little Priest, everyone fought for us to be here and be alive. And, you know, we need to be thankful to them for that. But part of that being thankful is also exercising that right to vote, you know, and casting our voice, because we didn't always have one. We weren't always allowed to have one. So we need to get out there and use our voice, and hopefully, you know,
Good words.
I'm praying.
Yes, good education too. And we do want to make mention that as a public service announcement is to make sure you guys stay safe out there. There's a lot of different things that might take place and stuff. You know, we don't want to kind of, you know, say the sky is falling and stuff, but we'll see what happens and stuff. You know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
mean, I think as tribal communities throughout the country, you know, I mean, we really need to be worried about, you know, who's going to be sitting in that office and if they're going to make the right decisions for us, for our lands, for our resources, for our rights that we
Yeah.
had to fight for. You know, obviously just the simple right of voting wasn't just given to us. So, you know, we really need to be thinking about those types of things.
Very nice. Thank you guys for making time to come on up here. It's been too long. Angel Decora, we need to get back
Nobody
on
ever invites us.
this day in history. You know what I mean? Like, we have a lot of history coming up and stuff. So yeah, just make it a point to kind of, if Gayla or Madeline or Sunshine, if you have some time, come up and see us there. Our listenership really appreciate that. We get a lot of good comments when you guys come up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Dwayne and you know, Ben. You know, the Ben Crawford and stuff. But really, they just kind of
Just kidding, Ben.
really appreciate that. It's a busy day here in election land. I know that here in Winnebago land, excuse me, and
Election
elections,
land.
yeah, elections are taking place and stuff. But we'll make sure that you know, if you have an opportunity, we got transportation. If
Yes.
you need an ID, Winnebago Enrollment Department is open for Winnebago enrolled members. If you don't have an ID, let's see what else. The
Was
polling-
that just for yesterday or is that today as well?
the free? Now you
Was
still
just
can go
yesterday.
get one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you still can go
Okay.
get one and stuff, but I'm not sure what the charge is to get a
I don't
new
know either.
ID and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yesterday, the tribal council had the thought and feeling to do that.
Yeah, that was
Just
good.
because this year is you have to bring an ID.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other ones? Oh, where's the location at? Remind them, where's the location
Yeah,
at?
it's going to be at the Blackhawk Community Center gym.
Yep. So, kind of used to that. In the past, it was
It's
at the
at the
senior
fire
center. Yeah, it was at the fire
department.
hall, senior center. This year, down at the Blackhawk Community
Okay.
Center gym. And the closing time is going to be at 8 p.m. this evening. So, I know you guys probably going to maybe head down there after this or something like that, or we'll see and stuff.
Yeah, I'll get down there.
And Brian went out and voted. I voted. There's a couple initiatives on there you have to read through. So,
Yeah.
it won't take you an hour or anything like that, but
I
just-
think you want to look into some of those. I think
Yes.
it's 439 and 434.
Yeah, the sample ballot.
Yeah.
sample
Yep.
ballot. Take a look at them and stuff, and be very
Yeah.
nice. So, you know how, and change the subject here, but you know how they do.
Where's his laugh?
He's got like little transitions now. You should have did your dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, dear long.
Tonight on no, that's my own. But you know how they do jersey swaps after games and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see the Angel Decora nice. Where's our coats at? And then you guys come in here with black coats on and stuff, you know, very nice. I want to.
Well, let's see it then.
You know what I mean? Like, then you have to autograph it. but-
Yeah, yeah.
Any shout outs or anything like that? Any last words? Any encouraging words for the voters out there? Maybe there's some people just sitting on the line. You're like, I don't want to vote today. It's too gloomy out. What do you got for them? Anything?
I got shout outs to all those voters that are going out to exercise that right. That wasn't just given to them.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't always seen as even people for
Yeah.
a long time. And, you know, citizenship didn't come to us easily. And so just exercise that right and take your kids with you so that they learn that, you know, that's what they should be doing.
Yes.
Gayla?
Just go vote.
There you go. Short and simple. Madeline?
I agree with Kayla. Go vote.
There you go, man. There you go. Yeah, I like that. The more you say, the less people forget, or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Go vote.
Yeah, just go vote. Go vote. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Angel Decor Museum in the house. Finally.
Thanks, ladies. I want to give Madeline a happy belated birthday shout out. I had seen that they shared a happy birthday shout out on there, but Sunshine, just in future reference, come back, because I seen that you guys have a lot of awesome stuff lined up for the month of November.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about if you guys want.
Yeah.
We're not gonna mention that because you guys got to tune in next week. Oh no.
We actually won't be here next
Cliffhanger.
week, so.
I knew it. But yeah, today.
So, what is November? Does anybody know what November is?
you get to
Native
eat turkey.
American Heritage Month, though. And it's my birthday month.
Oh yeah. What's Garen's middle name?
Pascal.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, so November is, and for us, it's always Native American Heritage Month, but November is recognized as Native American Heritage Month, and I'll let the girls talk about some of the events that we have coming up.
Okay, on Saturday we have a book signing event with Stephen Kantrowitz.
Yes.
Author of Citizens of a Stolen Land.
Oh, okay.
Ho-Chunk History in the the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a book signing? I'm sorry.
So he will have books available, both of them, but he talks a bit about the book, kind of how they got into like writing and the research that he did with like Ho-Chunk Nation and us and different things, but I don't want to ruin it. But so that'll be Saturday, I think, at noon.
Yeah, we start at I think lunch is at noon and the discussion starts at 1 o'clock.
Wow, you got a lunch too?
Yeah.
That's more, I'm there, you know what I mean? But no, seriously, I'm sorry. I never went to a book signing and stuff, so I'm a rookie at book signing. Have you guys?
Yes, I've been to book signings.
And then they read like portions of it or
something? He'll read a few portions of it, but mainly a discussion about, the book overall and then just leading up to the book, like what he did for research.
I wonder if we made history. Is this the first ever book signing at Angel Decor Museum?
I didn't think about that.
I think
maybe.
so.
Maybe.
Not the first, but definitely not the last. Or it might be the first, but
yeah.
So that's awesome. Cool. I like that event.
Yeah. And then Madeline, we got another one coming up.
Yes, we have one on November 21st. And then I can't remember what the...
Kathy Coates.
Yes.
Author Kathy Coates.
Oh, so you're going to have two?
Yes.
Okay. And Kathy Coates does what?
She is an author and you guys are throwing me off like yesterday. A professor.
Oh, okay.
But she wrote, what's the title of the book?
It's like Banishment.
To Banish
To
Forever.
Banish Forever.
Yeah.
So, and that one is super interesting. I have not finished it yet, but it kind of talks about, so initially during our removals and throughout the country, there was these movements from settlers to eradicate tribes and tribal people from the state as a whole. So that's what this is about. This book is discussing kind of around the Dakota War era. And so just, if you have the book, they also have the book at the Sioux City Museum. They have the book at Sioux City Library. They have the book at our library. And we have, I think, a copy if people want to borrow it and bring it back. But it's kind of, both of them talk about the atrocities and issues that we've faced as a people to be where we are today. And thanks to Stephen and Kathy as well, because they do this free of charge for the Winnebago tribe and for the Ho-Chunk Nation, just because, they're obviously writing about us. They look to us for their research, worked with both of us and the Ho-Chunk Nation. And so we're just grateful that they're coming and hope to see everybody there.
Thank you. Yeah. We're looking forward to that, and we'll get that promoted. Send us that information and stuff.
Okay.
So. And then Gayla, we're always tuning into your videos. We love them. If you have an opportunity, make sure you check out the Angel Decor Facebook page. I think you guys all have other social media platforms too, right? What are those ones?
Instagram, TikTok. We have TikTok. And Facebook.
What's the you guys got like a handle or anything like that? Is it just Angel Decor?
Just Angel Decor Museum.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give them a like, subscribe, whatever you need to do.
Yes, Gayla does a great job, and then she's got us even doing them now.
Yes, we gotta get their faces on there.
Yeah,
I'm not the
nice.
only one.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you guys.
See you, ladies. And then to make mention, if you are on Facebook, they do have a LinkedIn tree that has all their social handles and links to the website and everything. So, but yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I had fun. I was the sumo wrestler. I actually put our team costumes to good use. And then we went and forgot to stop screen sharing because we're browsing around. But we went trick-or-treating. My boys actually went down through Walt Hill and then tried to hit some neighborhoods up here in Winnebago. Didn't make it to Sioux City. I wanted to check it out up there because we always would go.
I think you put the camera on you, right?
We would go. We would in previous years hit up Sioux City, and they would get like hooked up, like full size everything, and you know what I mean, like all that kind of cool stuff. But we just stayed local, and I thought they did really good. I sadly didn't get to raid the candy bags, so
you didn't.
No, I didn't get to crave or how do you say it? I didn't get to take care of my sweet tooth or whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I didn't get to whatever with the sweet tooth. That's what I was trying to use that little like punchline or whatever, but yeah. How about you?
Okay, so I got a story for you. I mean, it's a horrible story, but nobody listened and stuff. But my little son, Garrick's, right? And he was Jack Skellington. And my youngest daughter, her name's Callie. She was Sally.
This cute.
Yeah, and they did wonderful and stuff, you know. And it was good. But here's the thing is, like, the other day, his birthday is on November 15th. And I turned to the old lady and I was like, hey, man, Garrick's getting big so fast and stuff. How old is he going to be for? And she's like, he's going to be 7. And I was like, oh my
gosh.
Oh, that's a good one.
I was like,
Slapping happening there too, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's horrible.
So with the Halloween candy, did you impose the dad tax?
We did, yes. And they got hooked up, man. I mean, so it was a little chilly that night and stuff, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I have to, usually I'm booked for a gig or something like that, and so I don't always do Halloween and stay home or whatever. So this time, I was the driver. And I said, we're only doing 5 houses, and you have to look for the light that's on, right? So there's a lot of houses with the porch light off, and I was like, look, there's one. So we were keeping track, you know what I mean? Like, okay, that was number 1. How many we got left? And then he was like, 5. You know what I mean? I was like, so we hit 5 of them. I was like, how many we got left? 5. I was like, I think you hit more than 5. So we ended up hitting like 13 or something like that, you know, but it was good.
That's all good, yep.
But we were marking the houses. Like, shout out to all the parents. Because some of the parents are like, wow, you're the only kid here. Here's a full-blown candy bar.
Yeah,
and
getting hooked
just
up.
pouring a bowl in there.
Yeah. It wasn't the Tootsie Rolls. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Those with the Tootsie Rolls, man, we're going to have to come around and talk to you guys.
My with the lights on and all that, the part that made me laugh on Halloween is because like my little guy was also a sumo wrestler, so he was like, hold on, I gotta inflate when he'd get in and out of the car. So when he's getting out, he had to inflate or whatever. When his brother's waiting for him, getting impatient, but they go, and then we're like, only go to the houses with the light on, and we're just slowly like letting them walk because the houses were kind of close down there, and so as we're going, they hit a house that had the light on, then like it's kind of like they have to go over a little bridge or whatever, and then there was more. The rest of them didn't have no lights on, so they just kept walking, and then we was like, all right, go ahead, we'll just go somewhere else. So we let them get in the car, but they was just walking, and it looked crazy.
All right, folks, I gotta get that.
It's kind of Hunger Games.
I know.
Welcome to The Answer Is, between the Big Voice Radio and the Winnebago Indian News here. We'll have top 5 questions, and those that get the most right. Audience, you have to help us out here, okay? So tune in, chat, put it in the chat. We're on YouTube. We're also on Facebook. And then you can also text it to
402-922-3347.
All right, so
Hit us up, chat.
Bet your horses here. Who do you think's gonna win? Is it gonna be Winnebago in the News, or is it gonna be Big Voice Radio? Question number 1, MCBKC. Here we go.
All right, guys. Remember, we added the little bit of a wrinkle into the answer B. This being Milt is that if you know it outright, you get 2 points. But if you need the multiple choice, then it's just 1 point. Okay. So the first question, and I'm glad she's still here. How well did we pay attention today? So yesterday, the Winnebago tribe hosted a Get Out the Vote event at Veterans Memorial Park, aka the Powwow Grounds. Many tribal members came to walk, and it was a good day. Among the supporters at the event was Cynthia Lemire, a longtime advocate for tribal voting rights. She and her late husband, Frank Lemire, are most famously associated with which political party?
The Democrats.
Democrats.
The
So
Democratic
that's your
Party.
answer?
Yes.
You don't need
All right.
multiple choice?
No, I'm going to lock that in.
You remember she was talking about like, the Republicans and the Independents?
Yep.
Did you catch that Independent?
Yep, I know.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to lock that one in.
All right. We'll see where we end up. Okay. Question number 2. And you just have to know it. All right.
Okay.
So there is no multiple choice. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How do you say it again? No,
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I don't know. Twice.
Twice? Okay. Twice?
I don't know.
Like, do you say?
I
Like,
think it went over my head, but
No worries.
Okay.
You just have to know the
just
answer.
how many
No, okay.
chords? No, there we go.
I was like, start thinking about math
Yes,
problems.
indeed. Okay. So the third question then. Iconic and legendary music producer, composer, musician, and philanthropist Quincy Delight Jones passed
Yeah.
away at the age of 91 just a few days ago.
All
May
right.
he forever rest in power. He possessed a truly stunning career of music and movies indeed. His biggest selling collaboration was the album Thriller with the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. It sold 65 million copies worldwide and counting. His next collaboration with Jackson was the album Bad. How many albums did it sell as of 2023?
Yikes.
So do you know it outright or do you need the multiple choice?
I'm gonna take that multiple choice.
Was it A, 45 million? Was it B, 35 million? Was it C, 25 million? Or was it D, 90 million?
Bad. Let's see. Wait, can you give them to me one more time?
45 million, 35 million, 25 million, or 90 million?
So the first one sold 65 million. Thriller.
Thriller sold 65 million albums worldwide
I'm gonna
and
go
counting.
with 45.
45? So
Yeah.
that's letter
I
A.
gotta be honest. That's what's gonna be my
Yeah.
guess. Too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So question number 4. What does FAO Schwartz famously sell? Do you know it outright?
FAO shorts. No, I'm gonna take that multiple choice.
Is it A, furs, B, cigars, C, toys, or D, diamonds?
FAO.
FAO Schwartz.
Is it like FAO initials?
Like the initials, yep.
Okay.
FAO
FAO.
Schwartz. What does FAO Schwartz famously sell? Furs, cigars, toys, or diamonds?
I'm gonna go with furs.
Furs?
No, I just
Okay. Go ahead. Are you
What
gonna
was it?
guess?
I was just singing that song because
Oh
when
no,
you said
I'm going
furs,
with furs because of
Are you?
F. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then
Garen's like,
finally,
no.
the fifth question then. Okay. This past Sunday, time clocks in America were set back 1 hour, officially ending daylight savings time for 2024.
Yeah.
Who is famously, though incorrectly, credited with beginning the practice in America? Do you know it outright, or do you need the multiple choice?
Was he native? No, just like
It was not Pocahontas.
I will take that multiple choice.
Was it A, George Washington, B, Eli Whitney, C, Ben Franklin, or D, Sir Walter Raleigh?
Sir Walter Raleigh.
D? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the questions. We're ready for Tyler.
all right, let's go grab her.
Yep. So happily, Cynthia, I think that, They remembered your political party.
Yeah, but that's something that we did get.
Yes, hopefully we got that one right. And so Tyler will have to come in and see if she had the same kind of thing. But while we're waiting, guys, don't forget that the Winnebago Indians are going to be playing in the All Nations League Championship this coming Friday.
Yes.
Do we have details on that yet or no?
Yes, so they'll play on Friday at 4
Yep.
in Vermilion at the Dome. And so they'll be up against
Number 2, Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge.
Oh, they're playing Pine Ridge again.
Ah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So
In that first game, it was a good game.
yes,
Yeah.
it was a thriller here at home in Winnebago. The Pine Ridge Thorpes tied the score for a little bit there, but the Winnebago Indians were able to pull it out. So it is definitely going to be a nail biter, a barn burner up in Vermilion on Friday. The Big Voice Radio is not able to broadcast it due to the broadcasting rights of
Yep.
the one that is. Do we know any
Yeah,
details about
605
that?
Sports.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the details on that. We'll have to get with Eugene or something like that and kind of get that announced and stuff. So for those that can't make it, but
Yep.
more reason to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's gonna be Friday and
So
stuff.
we don't have any details yet on pep rally or the send off or anything like that because that's probably all being coordinated, or maybe it's out there and we just haven't seen it yet. But look for that. But either way, Winnebago Indians are in the championship game.
Yeah.
At the Dome.
Congratulations.
Yes,
You know,
for
first year
sure.
head coach and stuff, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, so go make us proud and do your thing. We got some good questions for you. Hold
Yes,
up.
we do.
Scared.
Oh, don't be scared. You know it.
Be scared.
Questions are always super complex and very niche.
Well, one of them has a lot of words, but you'll get it. Okay. Okay. Question number 1. The answer B. This being milk. You guys got to guess where that's from, too. Anyway, yesterday, the Winnebago tribe hosted a Get Out the Vote event at Veterans Memorial Park, aka the Powwow Grounds. Many tribal members came to walk. Among the supporters was Cynthia Lemire, a longtime advocate for tribal voting rights. She and her late husband, Frank Lemire, are most famously associated with which political party? 2 points if you get it out right, or 1 if you need the multiple choice.
Multiple.
Okay. A, the Republicans. B, the Democrats. C, the Green Party. Or D, Libertarians.
Ooh. I feel very seen right now because I don't know any of that. Like I need to start listening.
You're busy handing out t-shirts
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
was-
Okay.
I'm
So-
gonna say the Liberty ones.
D?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. You don't look too.
It's your choice.
Oh,
Are they Republicans?
I'm gonna use my
Democrats?
lifeline.
Oh,
Oh, there
okay.
you go.
Oh, yeah.
Switching it up.
I think
Okay.
I know somebody that can help you out.
Okay.
She's sitting in the room.
I know that's why I was like.
Okay, and the lifeline is
Lifeline.
Cynthia.
Oh,
what's-
Cynthia, come on up here.
Yeah.
Come on up here. If you haven't heard, this is named.
How
not
embarrassing.
named after you, but this is a game that
It's
we
like
like
the
to
office
play.
had a camera on you.
Yeah, and it's called The Answer Is, basically. And yeah, so we included you in this question, but go ahead and give her. She's asking for some help, so she's asking for a lifeline. And the question is, what Democratic, or excuse me,
Yes. Which party are Cynthia and her late husband Frank associated with? Republicans, Democrats, Green Party, or Libertarians?
and the answer is
Democrats.
Okay. Now I know.
Yes,
So
yes,
the
yes,
lifeline and the B. So yes, ding, 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 ding. Where's your bell at? You both got it right, but Bethany scored it outright, so she gets 2 points on that one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then have you always kind of like associated yourself with being in that party and stuff? Yes. From,
Yes.
Lifeline.
Traditionally, Native Americans are Democrats and stuff. They're.
It's kind of a weird mix actually when it's broken down because the social I can't even say it, the social ideology of it is
Yeah.
actually very conservative, but the party politics lean it toward the Democrats.
Yeah, and then there's some people that register as independent.
Sure.
Libertarian. Let's talk about it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Well, how do you kind of identify them? Like what would-
Libertarians are more individualized, and then they have, it's kind of weird because libertarians want their freedoms, but they want them for themselves. And then it's kind of funny when you question them, then what about taxation for roads and such things like that?
Yeah.
Are you going to not use the road?
Has there ever been? Yeah.
What about the Indian land that the road is on?
I know,
Right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, so.
Has there ever been a viable candidate that's under?
Ralph
Yeah,
Nader
Ralph
was the
Nader.
most famous
Yes.
libertarian 48 years
In the
ago.
80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're kind of a weird mix between both major parties because they do have conservative ideology as well as the progressive ideology as well. Because Ralph Nader was very, very progressive as well as being environmentally conscious. But at the same time, you know, it was that kind of
And that's kind of a major thing in, you know, historically for Democrats, why natives attract that. Again, environment, social aspects, you know, support unions, all of those that everyday people are, where Republicans have always been more associated with the more elitist type, you know, population and economy, yada yada. But we all know economy is good, but like we know with Reagan era too, trickle down economics, no, it doesn't work for Indian country when you're starting, you know, at the bottom, you know, anyway. So, and the ones at the bottom are always the ones that get taken from for taxation and stuff to do more with their taxes. They take from the people who were seen to be the least unaccounted for, that are going to raise a fuss if something happens, that things are taken away. So, and
the overall ideology is kind of weird because through the generations it changes, because like what we were saying last time in the last show, it would be so strange for the grandparents of the modern day Republican Party to hear, yes, let's give tax dollars to private schools. I mean, they would just be rolling in their graves if they heard that. I mean, and it's like, now here they are, these Republicans putting out there, yeah, let's give tax dollars to private schools. Their grandparents would be screaming bloody murder. Yeah, it's just strange.
I do have a question for you, DJ Bethany. Hopefully you know this one. I'm sorry we're getting off to the answer is and stuff. But the presidential race, right? Harris and Trump. Are they feeding downtown? No, I'm just playing.
I did like the sign yesterday. I think Elaine Rice put it up.
Oh yeah.
Nunu Harris and Diego Waltz.
Yes, Nunu. Yes, so she's cooking. No, just kidding. Okay, let's get back.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live though? You sent it to us.
Yes,
it was.
That was funny.
That's going to go down in history. All the great actors that were in that, and they all do an exceptional job.
Did you get to see it, Tyler?
What was it?
The Saturday Night Live skit.
It's the intro.
The cold open. It was a fabulous cold open too. Everything went smoothly. Everybody did their parts.
Like we're here at CNN, and then she's getting ready to go on stage, and then like it's the actor, and then she looks in the mirror and trying to get herself pumped up. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we're gonna do this and stuff. This is the final stretch or whatever. So she looks in the mirror, and then the real vice president is sitting there, and she's just like, but she does this something about this laugh, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't really laugh like that, do you? The actor was like, you kind of do.
Well, they did have to bring her in at some point, you know, because of course, you know, Tina Fey met Sarah Palin. Hillary Clinton met, I forget her name, you know, it just went out of my head. She was Tina Fey. Yes, and they've done even the men as well. You know, George Bush met Martin Short. I mean, so whatever.
Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do is what they did on the thing is like they used. We're gonna go watch a Ram Kala. So that's coming. All right. But we got question number 2.
Okay, sorry. So back into the mode. Ready, Tyler? So Bethany is up 2-1 because she guessed it out right. Okay, so question number 2, and you just have to know there is no multiple choice. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Man, crickets today. 1. I don't know.
1?
Sure.
Okay, 1. The answer, guys, is actually in a study that was performed by Cornell University. The answer is 700 pounds.
Oh. Wow, how would you
is
know?
I know, right?
Enlightening.
I know.
The more you know.
Again, it's just one of those things. So both of you did not, because Bethany said twice. And then you said one. So whatever. It was asking for a quantity of wood, so 700 pounds.
I said it went over my head.
No worries. Okay, question number 3. Iconic and legendary music producer, composer, musician, and philanthropist Quincy Delight Jones passed away at the age of 91 just a few days ago. May he forever rest in power. He possessed a truly stunning career of music and movies indeed. His biggest selling collaboration was the album Thriller with the king of pop, Michael Jackson. It sold 65 million copies worldwide and counting. His next collaboration with Jackson, though, was the album Bad. How many albums did it sell as of 2023? Do you know it outright, or do you need the multiple choice?
Need multiple.
Was it A, 45 million? Was it B, 35 million? C, 25 million? Or D, 90 million?
Just doing numbers, huh? I'm gonna say 35.
B?
Yeah.
Okay, and the answer is actually A, 45 million. So Bethany got that
Wow.
right, yeah.
That's cool. Must
Yep.
be really good.
Yes, it was.
Who was on that Bad, the guitar solo? Was that Bon Jovi?
No, Eddie Van Halen.
Oh.
Yep,
Yeah,
Eddie Van Halen, yes, very much so. And the other collaborations as well, yep. Okay, so next question number 4. What does FAO Schwarz famously sell? Do you know it outright?
Ooh. No.
Was it A, furs, B, cigars, C, toys, or D, diamonds? FAO Schwarz.
It sounds fancy, so I'm gonna say diamonds.
Diamonds, D?
That was gonna be my guess.
Okay. Cynthia, do you know?
I think last name.
Schwarz. So actually, Bethany guessed A, furs, and Tyler, you guessed D, diamonds. Both incorrect. The answer is C, toys.
Oh.
FAO Schwarz.
Cisco got it right.
Yeah, did he? Yeah. And if you're, it's in a lot of movies. Home Alone.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Yes. Baby Boom. I mean, I'm just going on.
Schwarz.
Yeah. SCHWARZ. FAO Schwarz, like
I didn't.
initials.
Yeah.
I used to know what FAO stand for, but it's part of the name, but I forgot.
What made you come up with that question?
Just thinking about Christmas. Yeah, they are a
Yeah.
huge store in New York City and Manhattan.
Which you can use your general welfare exclusion payment.
Yes, you could if you do the application.
Buy
Yeah.
some Christmas presents, buy some chores.
That's right. Okay, so Bethany's still up 3-1. So if you get it out right, you can tie the score.
Oh, let's go.
Yep. So question number 5,
let's
Tyler.
tie.
This past Sunday, time clocks in America were set back 1 hour, officially ending daylight savings time for 2024.
I appreciated the extra hours.
Who is
Me
famously,
too.
though incorrectly credited with beginning the practice in America? Do you know it outright? Okay. Was it A, George Washington, B, Eli Whitney, C, Ben Franklin, or D, Sir Walter Raleigh?
What you got, Cynthia?
But incorrectly
Yes.
is the
They are
key.
famously credited for it, but it is incorrect in the crediting.
I'm gonna go with D.
Sir Walter Raleigh? And you both guessed D, and you're both incorrect.
Is it Ben Franklin?
Yes, the correct
Franklin.
answer is Ben Franklin, yes. Although he mentioned it and suggested it, it was not actually put into place until a man from New Zealand. And it came forward from that point and went globally to the nations that do, I guess.
60-something or other.
Yeah.
Mess you guys up? The time change? Mess you guys
No,
up?
A
not at
little
all.
bit yesterday.
I didn't even notice it.
She was
Stayed up
yawning
late.
like crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
be
the dark.
honest.
I don't care for the darkness, and so Bethany won 3-1.
Congratulations. Yes.
We didn't have daylight savings
Birthday
time
month.
when I was growing up.
You guys didn't?
Yeah.
When did it start?
It came and went. The Congress went back and forth with it, and then also it went state by state,
Oh.
and so it was individually timed, meaning that one state would say it starts November 1st, the next state would say November 5th. It wasn't uniformly done, I think, until 1986
Yeah.
or something like that. So, yeah.
Nobody knew what time it was really, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that
and then
was-
some states don't participate at all, like Arizona and Nevada. So they
I seen a video of this person that was at work, and they I'm assuming worked the night shift, and it was at 1 a.m. or at midnight when it changed,
2 a.m.
and then it went back to 1,
yeah.
and then
Oh, man.
you could hear someone in the background, "I'm going home," like freaking out.
Well, when I worked at the casino back in the day, of course, I had every shift, and one of them was 6 to 2 in that time period. So yeah, you'd get to 2 o'clock, and all of a sudden it was 1 o'clock.
But you did get paid for 9 hours.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did get paid, but it was just kind of one
That's
of those
fun.
weird.
One of Frank and I's favorite games was Trivia Pursuit.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
out in
Yeah.
So we used to pull all-nighters down here. We'd trade off whose houses we went to, pot of coffee and bring potluck and play Trivia Pursuit. It'd be like 4 in the morning sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's a very good game. So good job.
Shots.
Well, I would like to give a shout out to the communications team and then those sponsors that helped out with the Get Out the Vote walk yesterday. And I want to say that was the Human Services, Little Priest Tribal College, and Big Fire Law and Policy Group,
Awesome.
LLC.
Okay.
And then Cynthia.
And Ho Chunk Inc.
And then Ho
Yeah,
Chunk
yeah,
Inc.
they were
Yes, so.
sponsored too.
Yes. So, hold up. Shout outs.
I'm gonna have to say the same. It was a very good event yesterday. It was nice to see everybody come together to, get the native vote out. I was scared at first. I didn't think a lot of people were gonna show up, and then out of nowhere, a big old crowd came through.
That's awesome.
So it
Good
was
job.
good, and I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming.
Cynthia.
Shout out? Oh, I'm going to say Reverend Jackson used to have a saying when he ran for president. And in one of his speeches, he talked about how it reminded him of his years as a reverend, as a pastor, and he'd run into someone from his congregation on a Monday or Tuesday or something, and, oh, Reverend, so good to see you. So sorry, I missed Sunday, but something came up. And that's what he used to talk about, was to get out the vote is don't be one of those that something came up.
Something. Yes.
So do something and vote.
Yes.
It's very Hunger Games. I feel like, where's Katniss?
MCBKC.
Yes, my shout out is going to be to the veterans of the Winnebago tribe, both living and those who have passed on. We have the right to vote because of the sacrifices you have all made and continue to make. So shout out to the veterans of the Winnebago people.
Awesome. I got one. I want to send a shout out to those that are working hard on that general welfare exclusion payment.
Yes,
From
indeed.
top down, administration, council, to finance, to communications. You guys did an amazing job. But
Enrollment, yep.
enrollment as well. So everybody that's doing that and stuff. And then also those out there want to send us appreciation for helping us spread the word and sharing
Yes.
it. That's definitely being part of the Winnebago tribe, is to get that information. I know like the Buffalo Clan, MCBK's part of them and stuff is like they have to share that information. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with us, and go get out there and vote if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll have some results on. We'll see what takes place.
The presidential one probably won't be known for a couple
They
days.
said up to 5 days for
Yeah.
Pennsylvania could be.
Wow. Wow. Very, very cool. Okay, guys. You guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Be good to... How do you say that? I like your line that you say on ARL.
I would just like to remind everybody to be good to each other and be good to yourself.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.